Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're continuing our look at the early days of the New Mutants in their first series. Today we're looking at issues 9 through 12, some super fun stuff. I can't wait to show it to you. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. So New Mutants 9 through 12. I've covered issues 1 through 8 and various other issues, I'm sure. But today we're looking at 9 through 12. I love the New Mutants, the X-Babies, one of the first X-Men spin-off titles. It's hard to believe there was only like 2 monthly X books at one point, and this was one of them. Stan Lee presenter, Chris Claremont writer, Sal Buscema penciler, Tom Mandrake finisher, Tom Orzechowski letterer, Glynis Wein colorist, Louise Jones editor, Jim Shooter Emperor, hilarious, New Mutants stars. I miss credits like that. That is so great. Like, that definitely is representative of, like, why, you know, comic geeks love comic books so much or whatever. You just feel sort of included and, like, part of it. And, like, it's really speaking to you. Like, these are sort of your friends or you're in a, I don't know, it's weird. Comic book fans, you get me, you feel me, you know what I'm talking about. Such great lettering, Tom Orzechowski. I would love to see this original art page. I feel like Sal Buscema was one of those artists I definitely took for granted when I was younger because he was never as flashy as like a John Byrne or an Art Adams or a Bill Sienkiewicz or an Alan Davis or some of my other favorite artists. But when he worked with the right inker, and sometimes even when he inked himself or whatever, I don't know. He just like, he's such a great comic book storyteller and like definitely one of the masters. And such a prolific artist too. But I think this is the first time Tom Mandrake has been brought into the fold artistically on the book. And I'm digging his inks here. So wow, that is really cool. Like I'm saying, like, you know, what a great... And I love this kind of double page spread. I feel like John Byrne did this to great effect a lot in the X-Men. I can see a lot of his spreads in my mind where it's a double page spread, but you still have like a strip of panels across the bottom. And this is so great. I mean, this is like sort of how you implement the grandeur of like the Sunday funnies into a comic book in a way. Such a great classic lineup. I love these characters. You know, it's funny because, you know, the all new, all different X-Men, you know, was by introducing Storm and, you know, Colossus and all these like sort of, it was trying to make the team, you know, more global. I mean, talk about inclusivity. And that's what I like about the New Mutants too, is, you know, they all looked very different. They were such an introduction to like different types of characters that I wasn't familiar with. So I think, you know, Chris Claremont has always been so great with his sort of, you know, inclusiveness and diversity and just like well-rounded stories, you know, ranging the gamut from like, you know, Roman bathhouses to, you know, outer space or demon bears or whatever. It's like there's just so many great things. I love the New Mutants so much. One of my favorite books. I loved it, and I know it probably broke a lot of people's hearts when Bill Sienkiewicz took over. Like, his style was such a radical departure from this classic comic book superhero look that the book had had up until then. But, and as good as it was, I mean, I hate to say it's boring. It was boring because it's easy to say that in retrospect, just because what Sienkiewicz did was so exciting. But, I don't know, whatever. It's still a good classic book. Fun panels. I love when they utilize, like, the tricks and tropes of comic books and like with the big sound effects. I saw a call, I forget, I wish I would call him out every single time in every single frickin' video if I could. But some established professional, I don't even want to guess the name because I don't want to pin it on the wrong person, but really grinded my gears when they said that they don't think they should have sound effects in comic books. I don't know what the argument was, but it's part of the experience for me. It's like, you know, like they want to get rid of all the stuff that makes comics great. That sounds so like dark, doesn't it? But like thought balloons, like captions, like they take them out because, you know, I don't know, they don't have them in movies. And like, you know, there's always an argument about like characters like fighting and talking at the same time. It's like how they wouldn't really have time to do that. But I'm like, you know what? That's why it's a freaking comic book. I mean, it used to take 20 minutes to read a comic book. Now it takes like 5. And yes, I'm a slow reader, but part of it is me like being trapped and like not being able to move past the art. Like, look at this gorgeous Bob McLeod. Yes, we settled on McLeod. I always think of you, Matt Hawes, if you're watching, because you always teach me how to pronounce these frickin' names. Anyway, gorgeous cover. Love Bob McLeod, co-creator of the New Mutants. Still Chris Claremont, Sal Buscema, Tom Mandrake, Glennis Ween, Tom Orzechowski, Louise Jones, Shuda. That's a beautiful splash page too. I love it. That is such a great Rain right there. Oh my god, she looks so good. I love that. This original art must be like killer. I don't know. See, like, I mean, certain story. I love this man-spreading emperor. Oh my gosh. Saturday morning, another thing I lament the demise of. Like, how can society expect to move forward with any sort of civility without Saturday morning cartoons? I mean, sure. Yes, there was a Rubik's Cube cartoon, okay. I'm sure I watched it. Sure, I was spoon-fed pop culture, but I ate it up, baby. Lots of color holds in here. Loving that. Lots of fun. I don't know, like Sal Buscema, just like, you know, he was known for like his speed and professionalism and his ability to meet a deadline, and that's why he was so freaking prolific. You know, his art is not as beautiful as, say, and what a horrible thing to say, having an older brother who's an artist, I know how painful it would be to hear this, but, you know, his art isn't as beautiful as John Buscema's, but it's still great. He's still a great artist in his own right. More Saturday morning goodness. The Smurfs, I freaking love the Smurfs. The Mr. T cartoon was amazing. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Throw in the Hulk. Only way to make it better. He-Man. I'm sorry, Thunder. I just almost called you He-Man. I apologize. I don't know how I could have made that mistake. Anyway, love Thunder the Barbarian. So great. Ariel, Ookla, Ride. Yes. Chipmunks. Shirttails. I feel nothing for. I do love the Flintstones though. See, some people say I need to comment on the ads and stuff, so there you go. That's for you people. It's for you, subscribers. Who is this? That couldn't be. Oh, Celine. Yes, I love Celine. Celine is so awesome. She is so cool. I love her. What is she up to? I mean, I know everyone's like dead and being resurrected and going to the Met Gala and the X-Men and really exciting times I'm missing out on, but what can I tell you? Give me my old books. I always love this panel. Celine, I love her soul-sucking powers. Like, so great. Soul-sucking powers. I should write the entries for the frickin', what do you call it? Marvel Handbook to the Marvel Universe. Frank Scirocco, inks by Terry Austin. Alien Legion. Should I investigate Alien Legion, guys? Now, this is interesting because I feel, and this is the first time I've ever realized this in my entire life, and it's crazy. This is a Walt Simonson cover inked by Tom Mandrake. How crazy is that? Like, if you go into here, you can see the, like, little etchings that look definitely very Simonsonian. Did I just make up a word? Simonsonian to describe. But the other thing that's interesting is this which I don't know if he did this. I mean, what if Louise Simonson drew this? Wouldn't that be freaking crazy? She's like, you know what? It's Assistant Editors Month. Anything goes. I'm going to draw the cover to New Mutants number 11. So, Wheezy, if you're watching and you drew this cover, please comment. Otherwise, I think it was your husband. And we don't have his telltale dinosaur silhouette signature. And part of the reason I'm thinking it maybe is because he did not ink it himself. Interesting. I know. All I have to do is search and figure out who did the cover. But we do have like Simonsonian sort of flames, like the elongated flames. And he always does sort of like dramatic perspective. So I'm going to give it to Simonson. Walter. I love Magma. Like, speaking of color holds, like, she's one of the... I love a character that sort of is dependent on a little, like, special effects with their look. Unless it's too gimmicky. Like, I've seen some really stupid-looking, like, applications with, like, 3D effects and modern superheroes or characters. Stan Lee, presenter. Okay, we're still rolling with the same, creative team. However, Joe Rosen is filling in for Dom Orzechowski. Maybe him and his wife Lois were on vacation that month. God knows they would deserve it. Tom Orzechowski lettering every X-Men and New Mutants forever. Great splash page. I love Magma. There's not a New Mutant that I do not like from the, there's no Cousin Oliver, there's no Danny Chase. The whole team was great. Even the little add-ons, like Magma and Doug Ramsey. Not super sliving for this art, but it's okay. Okay, I'm back. We have Roberto DaCosta's mom. I just love her for some reason. She just, I don't know, she's like this old white woman, and she's put in these horrible situations. Wait, what does that say about me? I don't know. Like, that sounded super sadistic. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Some of the art and the inking is, like, really nice here. That seems odd. Like, this is such a, like, an inker's pattern here with the sort of lines that, the parallel lines that intersect in sort of like a triangular formula, if that makes sense to you. If you're an inker, you'll get it. But, that seems like an odd application for that sort of effect. But I still admire the technique. How do you like that? Comic book art critiques. The old goblet over the back of the werewolf's head. Bubble yum. I had some bubble yum like the other day, and I have to say I used to love bubble gum when I was younger, and I don't know, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm too compelled to, like, want to blow bubbles, and the flavor only lasted for 5 seconds, and I don't know. Crystar, I knew there were toys. I don't think I ever had a Crystar toy, and I super regret it now. Like, how cool are these toys? Especially Feldspar. I mean, come on. Leather, Magma Leather Daddy right there. I do have some Crystar comic books, at least one, coming up in a future episode. So, I mean, subscribe right now and hit that notification button. I mean, you would not want to miss my review of Crystar, for the love of God. So what else is happening in the Marvel Universe during New Mutants number 11? X-Men 177. I'm still mourning the loss of Paul Smith as penciler at that point. Crystar number 5, Defenders 127, Jack of Hearts limited series, X-Men Classics, more classic reprints from Neil Adams, and like good reprints, right? And those reprints are probably worth a lot now too. Moon Knight Special Edition, Indiana Jones, Yes, there was an Indiana Jones comic book, The Thing, number 7. Where's Fantastic Four? 262. Damn. Look at the printing. Like, you almost can't even read some of this stuff. More gorgeous color holds. I love the New Mutants. This is kind of a long story. Do we have one more, or is that it? No, we got one more. And another cool cover. I like Tom Mandrake's art. I really, you know, I think like mostly New Mutants is what I remember him from, but he seemed like a really pretty, you know, decent, classic comic books artist. And I do love this cover. It's very, you know, like there's a lot of good things going on here. Like, I love a big figure, like with the other, like the team looking like kind of running away from it. Like, that's cool. I love the, you know, how it's like the logo is involved. I like when the logo is involved in a creative fashion on the cover. I love comic book architecture too. Chris Claremont writer, Sal Buscema penciler, Tom Mandrake finisher. So they were pretty solid for a while. Be interesting to see. And because obviously there's huge evolution coming within the pages of this comic book. The New Mutants on the beach in Rio de Janeiro. Midnight at the Oasis. You're like, don't sing. Don't sing. Anyway, as I continue to sing, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I guess I'm getting bored with the art. I'm ready for Sienkiewicz. But a good rain transition is always welcome. I love this too. I love to, like, the finisher, to sort of supplement the negative space. And totally didn't need to, but did all this, like, little stippling texture and quirk here. Good zipatone, nice concentric lines coming from the sun. Looks very dystopian in a lot of ways. Magma cutting loose with her powers. You know, I kind of, like, I like that. Like, she's super distressed. She's a young mutant with new powers. She's, like, walking through the streets causing, like, volcanoes and stuff. But that's, like what I always thought, like, was truly, like, the heart and beauty, believability, and relatability about, like, Chris Claremont's writing, is he sort of made it relatable, made this characters empathetic and, you know, at the same time, and destructive. And violently destructive and way too powerful. I mean, what is she doing here? She's destroying the world. Such cool art. I really do love this. I'd love to see the original pages. Because I'm wondering, I feel like to do a color hold like this, you'd have to do like vellum on top of it and like tape it to the page. So the original art is probably hideously ugly. Like, now if it were modern coloring, 100% guaranteed, they would probably just do like the outline and let the colorist do the rest. Unless you're a control freak like me, and then I would do that in black and let them just change it with the color hold, which are super easy to do digitally. That's what, like, when you look at old comic books like this, especially if you're not of that era, you need to appreciate the fact that all of this art came from physical boards being penciled and inked and color guides and hand lettered, and just this sheer artistry that went into producing monthly comics is just like kind of mind-boggling. And I don't think, I mean, you don't even, I mean, I act like Marvel and DC don't exist anymore, but you don't see the same creative team on a book for like more than like 6 months, let alone like a year, 2, 3. Anyway, I'm having a blast going through these old New Mutants. I love this book so much. Revelation about that Simonson cover. Feel free to comment on anything I said or did not say. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button, share my content, and I will bring you more soon.